I'm Ward Holloway, the Vice President of Business Development at Firemon. I wanted to take a few minutes to talk to you about our Risk Analyzer product. Remediating risk in large enterprise environments today is a challenge. If we are simply looking at a single web server, it's very simple for me to run a vulnerability scanner against that server and list the vulnerabilities that need to be patched on that device. Unfortunately, we don't live in a simple network world. We live in very large, complex networks with multiple layers. And when I launch a vulnerability scanner against that environment, I may get thousands upon thousands of identified vulnerabilities. And then the challenge is identifying what of those vulnerabilities I need to patch immediately to reduce the greatest amount of risk to my environment. Fortunately, Firemon's Risk Analyzer automates that process for you. Firemon's Risk Analyzer will automatically look at the vulnerabilities associated with your environment and in context of your network topology, identify the most effective steps you can take to remediate the greatest amount of risk. And in conjunction with Juniper Networks, we're able to leverage their Space SDK to have a real-time awareness of the entire network topology and draw the information from Juniper SDK into our network topology.
The Risk Analyzer solution is one that has a lot of potential in front of it. It certainly solves a set of hard customer problems where customers are, they're applying their effort to the wrong things simply because they don't have visibility. If we look at Risk Analyzer, making things visible, making them relevant, making them prioritize, our end user customers can take the sparse resource they have and focus it on the right areas to get the outcome. And by the way, that's going to make them more secure, make them more productive, and I think that's a great thing. I think Juno Space provides some of the basic nuts and bolts. If we take those basic nuts and bolts, the topology, information about device configuration, network services, and combine that with the advanced analytics that Risk Analyzer is bringing into the fold, we get a much better solution. Kind of like taking peanut butter and chocolate, pop them together, you get a nice Reese's peanut butter cup.
The beautiful thing about the Risk Analyzer is that when you sit back and you run the program, to come back and run it against my environment and come back and see how many redundant rules I might have or how many outdated components that I may not have thought about. And it could be layers and layers and layers upon rules that just haven't gone away. And as a network administrator, I probably want to get a good grasp on that because I don't want to leave something open through the firewall, and I want to make sure that I've got my environment, safe and secure. What Juniper brings to this equation is being able to give the platform the southbound interfaces so you can reach down into our various hardware to come back and pull that information out in a more real-time manner. And one can see why today it's a read-only environment where you're giving folks prescriptive guidance in terms of what's happening in the network. One can see very easily how you could actually leverage space and do a round trip and actually fix this over time. So once again, it'll be the benefit of our joint partners to come back and say, what if? We'll provide the building blocks. They can come back and build great solutions to make their environments a safer place.